too bad. Oh, you might have to come to the side if you want up here. Come over here. It's like I can't jump from the left.
Never.
I must jump from the right.
Only can jump from the right.
Okay. Zoolander.
God. You're such a mess. If you make the Zoolander face, I'm gonna lose it.
Hey, it's Sue.
And Megan, the Spine Breakers. And today we are coming at you with a If You Got It, Read It, Readathon TBR.
I have 7 challenges to finish.
I have 6 challenges to finish. I feel like a news anchor. I'm just getting my shit arranged here.
And while we talk about it, we're going to drink the Devil's Invention. Stout brewed with coffee from, what's this from?
4 Hands.
4 Hands Brewing, which is where? I don't.
St. Louis.
This is 7.2% alcohol. It's 12:30.
But it's afternoon, the day after Thanksgiving. So, you know, holiday drinking rules are a little different.
I think Murphy desperately wants outside.
Oh, Jesus. So cheers.
Okay, let's try this.
Also, this is coffee beer, so like it's fine to drink this early in the day.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good. This isn't like the best coffee beer I've ever had, but it's still pretty good.
It's pretty tasty. I like it.
All right, should I start since I have one more than you?
Let's do it that way.
So I just put all of what I have remaining on my TBR because I'm going to try to read as many of them as I can in that 2-week period. Oh, by the way, the readathon is taking place the 1st through the 14th, right?
Yes, and you get the full day the 14th
Yes.
to read.
And we'll put the announcement video down below if you want more information. But my first challenge that I need to finish is to read a book you've had so long you don't remember what it's about. And I have been striking out on this one. I started to read Snow Falling on Cedars and it was just, I wasn't feeling it at the time. It's a very descriptive book and my focus this year has been 0. So it just wasn't working out for me, so I put that one down. And then I picked up this one, which is The Jagged Orbit by John Brunner. And I'm not having a great time with this one either. I'm 61 pages in, and I don't have any fucking clue what's going on. Like, the book makes no goddamn sense. And then through reading reviews on Goodreads, because I was trying to decide whether to DNF it, I learned that it's set in the future and involves a race war. And I was reading it and I was like, I feel like this book has some weird racial stuff in it. But like I said, the book didn't make any sense to me. So I was like, is this racist or not? I don't know.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I'm not sure that I need this white dude's hot racial take from 1969, you know?
Fair.
So I might put this down. I don't know. I thought I might give it a little bit and see if it started to make any sense to me. And so I might read a little bit more. I do love that, like, there's a cigarette ad in the middle of it.
I love that, like, about old sci-fi books especially. Like, all the weird advertisements that you get, like, crammed in the middle. And, like, I feel like 98% of the time it's for cigarettes.
Yeah. And there's also, I've been using this as a bookmark, but it was like a little thing for a book, kind of like a subscription type of thing, I think, where it'd be like, you get 3 books for 10 cents.
Oh boy. Sign me up.
But I'm not feeling this one, so I might DNF it too, and my backup is going to be Picnic on Paradise by Joanna Russ, because I don't remember anything about this one other than, like, it's sci-fi and probably takes place on another planet. And it's literally falling apart. So
shit.
That's fun too.
That is fun. Okay, so I also did what you did, and I just put all of the challenges I have left to read on my TBR, because I want to try to get as many of them done as possible. So, the first challenge is to read my most recently published book, and I don't own a lot of, like,
now she's right by the camera doing that, so it's probably even louder.
Extra loud. It's just gonna be the loudest. Okay, so I don't own a lot of like super recently published books, but I do own a couple of books that were published in 2019. And so,
did you say what the challenge was?
I thought I did. I'm just gonna start over because this is
I don't think you did.
just start. Okay, and actually that was not even the first one. I'm losing it. Okay, so the first challenge that I'm gonna put on my TBR is to read your most recently purchased book. This has since changed since I made this TBR, and I'm kind of excited about it. And here's why. So we went to a bookstore that was closing, and they literally just had like come in and get books for free day. And so we did, but like a lot of the stuff was kind of picked over. But what they did have a lot of, my friends, was paranormal romance. So I got this gem, which is Dust to Dust by Heather Graham. I don't know a whole lot about what it's about. It takes place during the apocalypse, and a man and a woman must team up, I guess, and fight against evil.
It's not the actor Heather Graham, is it?
I don't think so. I don't see like
an author photo.
I don't.
No, it's not her.
It would have been kind of fun if it was.
I think she has written books. Am I wrong? Has Heather Graham, the actor, written a book? Am I thinking of somebody else? I thought she wrote like a thriller or something.
She may have. But this also has an advert in the middle, so you know it's going to be good. But yes, I'm kind of stoked about this.
And the next challenge on my list is read your least recently published book.
Okay.
So I've actually already started this one, and it's The Glimpses of the Moon by Edith Wharton. And this physical copy is almost 100 years old. It was published in 1922. This might be a first edition.
It's a really beautiful book.
Yeah, it's in really great shape. Like,
it's in lovely condition.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I got it like half price, so I think I paid like $3 for it.
Nice.
But to be honest, I'm not 100% sure what this book is about. I think it's starting out, I'm only like 50 some pages into it. But it's a couple who have just gotten married, and they're kind of like expecting their marriage, because she's rich and he's not, and they're kind of expecting their marriage to have a time limit.
Okay. It's got like an expiration date on their marriage.
And so I did see a review that said this was like The House of Mirth, but a comedy instead of a tragedy. So it might be the first happy Edith Wharton book that I've ever read, because usually her books are depressing.
Brutal.
I can't fucking talk. Usually her books are depressing as fuck. So we'll see. And I started that one because I was in the mood for a classic for some reason.
You get in book moods, man. You gotta indulge that shit. So the next challenge I need to read is my most recently published book. And I don't own a lot of new books, but I do own a couple books that were published in 2019. And one of those is a book you actually gave me, which is How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi. So I'm really stoked about this. I'm excited to read it. So, and that was kind of a goal for myself, was to keep reading stuff like this and educating myself throughout the year, and not just like in response to certain events. So I'm gonna read it.
The next one on my list is read a book that was gifted to you. So this is the same one I had on my TBR when we first started this challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stick with it and go with Where I'm Calling From by Raymond Carver. This is a short story collection, and I've never read any Raymond Carver, so I really don't know at all what to expect. But I won this. I count it as a gift because
the universe gifted it to you.
I won it in Adam from Memento Mori's 500 subscriber channel giveaway.
Nice.
So he sent me this copy of Where I'm Calling From. So thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Adam. So I also have my least recently published book on my TBR, and this I think might be the only one that hasn't changed. Actually, no, it's not. But it is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. It was published originally in the 1800s. I'm not sure exactly when. But yeah, so I feel like this is a classic that I somehow have not read and really should.
I never read it either. I missed that one.
Yeah, I don't.
I feel like a lot of people read it as a child, like when they were in middle school or something.
Yeah, I think so
and
too.
I never picked it up for whatever reason.
No, I think I was just like stuck in like tomboy mode, and I also had that like toxic I'm not like other girls attitude a lot.
I kind of did too.
And I think I just saw like Little Women, and I was like,
yeah. I don't think I had a I'm not like other girls attitude. I just had a very hipster attitude where if something was popular, I didn't
want anything to do with it.
That's why like I didn't read Harry Potter until I was an adult because it was so popular. And I was like, it probably sucks.
And it turns out,
yeah, turns out maybe I should have.
the author is a transphobic, homophobic piece of shit. So,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, and there was a few other things. Like I never read like Goosebumps and stuff like that because it was just like super popular. So I was like, probably sucks.
Probably gonna hate it.
Yeah. Anyway, the next challenge I have is to randomly choose a book from your TBR, and Megan chose this out of my TBR jar when we did our original TBR video for this challenge, and it's Touch Not the Cat by Mary Stewart, which is about a woman who has ESP powers, and she has for years been hearing this same voice in her head, and it's the voice of a man, and he tells her that something terrible is about to happen involving her father.
Ooh.
And then she also is in danger. So I just got it randomly at a used bookstore because I thought the title was funny.
That's a fun title. What, Sasha? Can you use your words, please? Okay. So next on my TBR is randomly choose a book for your TBR. It feels like we have a lot of the same challenges.
I think we have,
still
well, we
left.
tried to read them in order so we could do
did.
videos, so that's partly why, but yeah.
And this one is actually the one I had originally chosen as well, but it is SueCee by Madeline Miller, and I believe this is one of those like retellings of a mythological tale, kind of a different take on the Odyssey from a female character's perspective, from Circe's perspective, obviously. And I kind of dig that, and I really like mythology in general, so I thought this would be a fun read. I got it in a Book of the Month Club box, I think, or I think I got it from a Book of the Month Club. That's what it says.
It says Book of the Month.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that's where I got it.
Oh.
Because I don't remember how long I had that for. But anyway, I don't know. So I'm excited about this. I think it will be a good time.
Alright, next on my list is read a book that reminds you of someone, and I switched this one to The Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris because it actually reminds me of two people. One is the same person who my original pick was for this challenge, which is our friend Jeff, who we used to work with, because he was trying to tell me that someone was doing a Hannibal Lecter accent, and he said, "Oh, it's from that movie, Chloe, go see to the lambs." And I lost my shit because that was hilarious.
Fucking Jeff.
And then it also reminds me of my partner Jeremiah because he loves this franchise. So
Very nice. I love it. I love it.
when I think of Hannibal Lecter, I think of my dear, sweet boyfriend.
So I also have the book that reminds you of someone on my list, and my book reminds me of Susan because she is who I heard about this book from, and it's about an apocalyptic event. And you know we love that shit. So it is On the Beach by Neville Shute. I started reading this like twice, and then for some reason I got distracted and never finished it. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna read it.
Murphy.
Tits, bud. Do you want to go outside or do you want your sister to come in?
Okay, so the next one is read a book you bought because of the online book community. So I'm going to go with The Left-Handed Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin for this one. Partly because I have to read it for our book club. But I did buy this when I was like kind of trying to start getting into sci-fi, and this was a book that a lot of people were talking about, and so that's why I bought it. But it's a sci-fi book that takes place on this planet where like the inhabitants there can change their gender, and so Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with like societal issues. It says psychology and human emotion. So I think it'll be an interesting read, and it's her probably most well-known and widely celebrated work.
Yeah.
So
Do I own that?
I don't know. You have The Dispossessed,
I do.
but I don't know if you have any other books by her.
I'll have to look. So the last book on my remaining TBR is to have someone else choose a book from your shelf to read. I had originally had my partner choose me a book, but I'm not feeling that one right now. So I need to like be a little bit, like I need to kind of go with my whims a little bit if I'm going to be successful at this. So I had Sue pick me out a different one, and she chose for me The Zombie Autopsies by Stephen C. Schwartzman, MD. Schwartzman, you have to say it like that.
Oh, he's a doctor.
Oh yeah. So this is
It's
about
gonna be real scientifically accurate.
totes. I mean zombies, you know. Oh, that's fun.
Oh.
Different stages of zombiness. Here's a nice little medical illustration because this is a medical text. So this is about a crack medical team on a remote island, and they are sent to explore a radical theory that could uncover a cure for an epidemic. This is based on the team's research and the observations of renowned zombie expert Dr. Stanley Bloom. This documents for the first time the unique biology of zombie organisms. This is just the right amount of like fucking nerdy as shit, but also horror. And I'm pretty stoked about it.
So my last one is have someone else choose a book from your shelf for you to read. So I had my partner choose a book, and he chose King Leopold's Ghost by Adam Hochschild, right? I was looking for his name to see if it was right, and then I was looking down here everywhere and didn't see it. So I was like, Hush. Anyway, Adam Hochschild. So this is a nonfiction book. Totally not surprising at all that he chose a nonfiction book.
Truth.
Was a little surprised that he didn't choose a book about World War II.
Same.
But this is about King Leopold II of Belgium and the just awful, brutal plundering of the area around the Congo River that he did. Well, not him personally, but that he orchestrated.
Fucker.
And also about some of the African rebels who fought back. And it calls it the 20th century's first great human rights movement.
Damn, all right.
So
that sounds pretty interesting.
I was supposed to read it in college and didn't finish it at the time because college is just busy. I was like busy and
you worked full time throughout college.
Yeah,
too.
and it was kind of one of those things where I had every intention of finishing it, but then it was like I didn't get it done in time for class. Mm-hmm. So it was like
then you have other things to read that you have to do in time,
right?
And it gets pushed. Yeah.
Totally. So I have probably 11 years ago at least I read part of this book, but I don't even remember how much of it I read. But I'm excited to finally read the whole damn thing. So I've also owned this since I was in college.
So you're knocking off some old books that you've owned.
Yeah, I am.
That's exciting. So we have some bonus challenges that we're doing for this readathon, and one of them is to read the book that on your remaining TBR that you're most excited about, and then also read the one that you've been putting off the longest. So are you doing those two bonus challenges as well?
Yeah. I think the one I'm most excited about is The Glimpses of the Moon, which is why I've already started it. Because I love Edith Wharton, and I really want to read, she's fairly prolific, so she has quite a lot of stuff to read, and I want to read as much of it as possible.
That's awesome.
So I think this is only my third book by her, though.
Yeah, but I feel like you really liked the books that you have read first. So sometimes you just know. You read the author and you just know. I think the one that I am most excited about, now it's the fucking zombie autopsies. That's going to be fun as shit. So So yeah, I think that's probably the one I'm most excited about, or that paranormal romance. I think I'm in the mood for fluff right now, so I think I'm excited about the fluffiest books on my TBR.
And then the one I've been putting off the longest, I mean, would have to be this one.
I mean,
literally since college, which I graduated in 2010. So,
God, has it been that long since we fucking graduated?
It has. We're old as fuck, yeah.
I just had an existential crisis. I don't know if you could see it, but I was screaming internally, and I was seeing my life flash in front of my face. It was a really quick one, but you know, we've had to get really efficient because we've had a lot of them in 2020, so we got good at it. The book I've been putting off the longest would have to be Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, because like I said, this was one that, I mean, I feel like it is kind of I think it's kind of lauded as like a feminist classic, right? You know,
I think so, yeah.
I think
Murphy, we're almost done.
just hold it! Hold your little ball bag, alright, Mr. Man? Just wait. But yeah, like I think if you're a good feminist, you're probably supposed to have read Little Women. I don't know.
I guess I should read it.
I don't know. That's how I feel, and I feel like that about a lot of classics. Like I would consider myself fairly well read, but like I feel like you can't consider yourself well read unless you read certain classics, and I don't really like classics, and so.
Yeah. I think it all depends on who you ask, though. And
That's
I think
true.
some classics are maybe not worth reading.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. I definitely have that ingrained in my head, though.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just kind of this like pretentious mindset that gets like perpetuated in the reading community, where it's like, well, in order to be like, or even in like academia and the academic community, like, oh, you have to be to be well read, you have to read like this list of classics.
Right.
I'm like, I don't wanna.
I know. I had the printed out the list of like, I think it was like BBC put out a list of like 100 classics you have to read before you die, or 100 books you have to read before you die. And then I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. And then I, partway through, after I read like The Kite Runner, which was on the list, and I fucking hated it.
That book.
And then there was like, I think another book that I started, and I was like, fuck this.
Well, the problem with classics is they're written by like crusty old white dudes with like way outdated belief
systems. The Kite Runner's not written by a white dude.
No, that one's not. But like classics.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of people say that like Charles Dickens isn't worth reading. I've read A Christmas Carol when I was like, I don't know, 13 or something.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've ever read by him. But yeah, I like classics, so I enjoy a lot of them, but I think they're definitely, you know, I don't
some
think
of them are overrated.
some
I don't
of them
think
are
they
overrated,
all are,
and I think that just because you haven't read a certain classic doesn't mean you're not well read.
right.
You know,
I'm accepting that now. I'm like getting into that, but yeah, I think like I really like horror classics or gothic classics.
Sasha's like, Mother,
Look at her face. Use your
Mother?
words. What do you want? Use your words. Tell me. That was the fucking cutest thing I've ever seen.
That's pretty cute. All right, so yeah, this beer, I like it. It's
yeah.
I think there are better coffee beers,
Definitely.
but this one's still pretty good.
It holds up. Like
Yeah.
it's solid. I mean, there's better ones you can get, and I mean, it has a lot of bang for your buck. 7.2 ABV.
True.
So, also the can art is really cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if y'all can see this, but there's a little
It's like latte art of a devil.
and then there's like a skull and crossbones here. So it's pretty cool can art.
Yeah, so let us know if you've posted your TBR on YouTube's. Let us know. I will be checking the hashtags for other social media.
Yep.
I guess you can check hashtags on YouTube too, right? Do we do hashtags? We don't know how to
We're
do.
old. All right.
Let us know what you think of any of these books, if you've read them, and if you're participating and all that jazz.
Yeah. So happy holidays, y'all, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.